Hi everyone, happy Friday. Here's some of what's heading your way tonight. Your news at 9, the aftermath of an early morning fire at a business in southwest Missouri. Also,
fire school is in full swing in Parsons. I'm Zach Dodge with why this year is special, even though it is the 34th. Coming up.
The May jobs report is out, and Democrats say it's good news, and now an infrastructure bill is needed to continue growth. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington with more on where negotiations stand just days before the president's deadline.
Doug Heddy has weather, Jacob Leonard has sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A building is destroyed after a fire in La Russell, Missouri. It happened around 4 this morning. Crews from Avila, Jasper, Carthage, and Golden City responded to the scene at the Whitehead Farm Supply store on 3rd Street in La Russell. Investigations are ongoing. From pulling people from destroyed cars after a wreck to rescuing people from a burning building, firefighters have to know how to save lives safely and effectively. That's what the Labette Community College Fire School aims to do. KOAM's Zach Dodge has an inside look at what it feels like to return to normal life for many participating.
Seth Jones has been a firefighter in Parsons for almost a year now, joining right after getting home from the military. He says so far the training never really stops.
You kind of get consumed with all the work, but I mean, it's all worth it. It's awesome. It becomes a lifestyle.
That very much includes right now, as he joins firefighters from all over the state for Labette Community College's Fire School.
The main purpose why this started was just to offer training to all different types of firemen.
The school offers more than 20 different classes, like putting out grass fires, getting through bolted doors, and running a truck without a full crew.
Learn techniques or skills or anything that you can do to still perform primary tasks like stretching a hose line, doing a primary search, forcing a door, and those type of things with a very small crew.
It doesn't remove the need for their certifications, but it does give them skills that are very beneficial, especially for volunteer firefighters.
A lot of those volunteers don't have the financial backing to be able to send their firefighters to a 2-week-long firefighter training. This gives them some live training that they would never be able to get.
Now, this is the 34th year for the fire school, but it's still pretty special because it's the first to actually happen since 2019.
It's wonderful to see people's smiles again, to actually interact and be able to do these things.
Helping firefighters continue their education so they can help save more lives.
Ultimately, we're responsible for a lot of these guys' lives, and when something like this happens, we want to jump all over.
In Parsons, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Fire school ends tomorrow. Firefighters from more than 30 departments across Kansas signed up for the class. Another hot but beautiful day today, at least in my opinion. Meteorologist Doug Heddy joining us now.
Yeah, temperatures right back up there into the 80s for afternoon highs. Actually right on the nose of where we should be for the beginning of June. Started out at about 59 during the morning hours, but clear skies, not too much is going on here. We had a few isolated little showers earlier today, but we do have this low down through Texas that is going to meander its way toward us as we head into the weekend. That will start to up some of our rain chances on Saturday and Sunday. Temps right now, mid-70s, feels pretty good. We'll drop back to about 62 for us tonight, right back to about 83 during the daytime hours tomorrow. But of course, we'll talk about those rain chances here in a bit.
All right, see you then. Doug Heddy, thank you so much. The Neosho Police Department announced today that Lime Kiln Park is closed until further notice. They did not say why, but those who trespass at the park will face prosecution. Well, skateboarding is often seen as a male-dominated sport, but some want that to change. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky explains how one man is getting young girls in Joplin more involved in this activity.
Skateboarder Tom Walters always wanted to encourage his daughters to grow into the sport he loved. His oldest daughter grew up skateboarding with him, but when it came to heading to the skate park, she was outnumbered by all the boys.
There may be like 2 or 3 people the whole time she skated that were the same age or same gender as her to be able to skate with, to have any type of sense of community there.
Now, with his younger daughters, he's seeing more girls at the park, but that they seem hesitant to practice in public.
And I've seen a lot of girls that might even just come up here and sit for hours and be too afraid to jump in and start learning.
So, Walter started the Shred Sister Skate Camp at Ewart Park, where he hosts all-girl skate sessions and lessons to encourage young girls to give the activity a try.
Hopefully the skate sessions and the camp will just provide that growth of community out here to where then the girls don't feel scared to come off the bench and come out here onto the skate park.
Jara Davis says she loves skateboarding and that practicing in a space of mostly girls helped her feel less judged when it came to learning new skills.
I think that sometimes other people will judge and make you feel bad and you'll lose your confidence to skate. So I just think having more girls around you and not judging is helpful. I think it helped me a lot today.
For newcomer Anna Corcoran, coming out to these camps has helped her feel more sure of herself.
I would definitely recommend it to a lot of other girls since I'm very anxious about a lot of things, and this has boosted my confidence a little more.
In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
The next skate camp is going to be Monday, June 14th, and will run for the next 6 weeks. Well, COVID hospitalizations are up among teenagers who have not been vaccinated. Nonetheless, a CDC study says teenagers who haven't been vaccinated still run a low risk of contracting COVID and ending up in the hospital. The research also found 0 deaths from COVID in the group of unvaccinated teens who were being studied. The findings were released today. The information was gleaned from a surveillance system that looked at about 10% of the national population across 14 states. The findings are consistent with evidence that younger people tends to fare better than older people following coronavirus infections. Well, the May jobs report missed expectations, but showed jobs are being added and there's lower unemployment. Republicans say now is the time to do away with those extra unemployment benefits going on as Democrats are trying to hone in on infrastructure negotiations. Fox's Lauren Blanchard is in D.C. with more.
In May, the economy added 559,000 jobs, lower than expectations, but much higher than April's disappointing report.
No other major economy is gaining jobs as quickly as ours. And none of this success is an accident. It isn't luck.
Republicans, however, are not impressed. They say boosted federal unemployment benefits, which began at the start of the pandemic, are hurting employers unable to get employees. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy tweeting, "Washington needs to stop paying people not to work. Bidenomics is bad for America." The Labor Secretary disagrees.
I think this report shows that the unemployment benefit is not necessarily keeping people out of the workforce. What it's doing is supporting families that are still out of work.
Friday afternoon, President Biden talking again with Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito, still attempting to find an agreement on the American Jobs Plan, the president's infrastructure bill. The two sides do not agree on the size and scope of the bill and how to pay for it.
There's runway left. We're going to see how those conversations go.
House Democrats have unveiled their own $547 billion bill, which they will take up in the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee next week. The White House said there must be progress on a deal with Republicans by next week. President Biden wants a bill passed this summer.
There's got to be forward motion of the ball. We can't just be sitting still.
Extended federal unemployment benefits are set to expire in about 90 days. The latest COVID relief bill only funded them through early September. President Biden says he agrees they should end. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Walmart announced it will close all U.S. stores on Thanksgiving Day to thank employees for their work during this pandemic. The retail giant says in addition to the day off, it helped associates navigate their well-being during the pandemic with no-cost counseling and COVID-19 emergency leave. This is the second year running that Walmart has closed stores on Thanksgiving to give time back to associates. There's no word yet, however, on the store's Black Friday plans. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor one of our four-state heroes. Micah Roth has served in the U.S. Army, a native of Joplin. Roth has been stationed both in Iraq and Afghanistan. And we are proud to thank Staff Sergeant Micah Roth. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Ketty is up next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, more national honors for Missouri Southern's Zach Parrish. Gonna have those details in sports.
And soon.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Friday for us today. All Fridays usually pretty good, and we had nice weather for us today. Temperatures up into lower 80s and partly sunny skies during the afternoon. We did get a few isolated little thunder showers out there during the afternoon hours. Most of us stayed dry, but all of those have dissipated, so we look pretty good from this point on. But if we drop south, we do have a wave across parts of Texas, and this will start to affect us over the next couple days as it slowly lifts in our direction, giving us better chances for showers and thunderstorms by the time we head into Saturday and Sunday. Looks good. This is indigo sky. Outside right now, pretty much clear skies across the region. Temperatures mainly holding into the low to mid 70s, and I think we'll slowly drop back as we go through the evening hours. You can see also a nice shot, 7th and range line looking off toward the northwest. 73 south winds at 3, so pretty close to calm. Humidity is at 66%, and our temperatures tonight will drop back into lower 60s for overnight lows. All right, if we look out toward the west, we can see this huge ridge of high pressure. It keeps the jet stream way up to the north in Canada. Underneath the ridge, we got this cutoff low down through parts of Texas, but this ridge is going to help our temperatures warm up over the next couple days, and then this little low, as it spins toward us, will give us chances for showers and thunderstorms. Not like a severe weather setup, but always this time of the year. Any storms that do pop up, they can be strong and give us some low-grade severe thunderstorm warnings. But let's go through time. Saturday into Sunday gets a little bit closer to us, moving in on Sunday, increasing our chances for showers and a few thunderstorms. Slowly works by Tuesday, kind of dissipates, but we still get these waves kind of dropping over this ridge all the way through next week. And what that's going to do is keep chances for rain around just about each and every day. So pop-up storms, some of those could be strong, and the heat starts to increase. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, let's go through tonight. Looks fine. Low to mid 60s for overnight lows. Partly sunny skies for us. Tomorrow we will get these kind of pop-up thunderstorms late in the day. I still think 80-85% of us stay dry. 62 to start, 76 by noon, high temp right around 83. Any showers that would pop up dissipate tomorrow night. We look good into Sunday morning, and then Sunday, a little higher chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially during the afternoon, and a few of those could be a little bit stronger. But rainfall really just depends on where these little storms pop up, but they could produce 1/10 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch, or 1/2 an inch at best as they work through. 83 tomorrow, 81 Sunday, and then mid to upper 80s most of next week, but those chances for thunderstorms stick around each and every day.
Good day tomorrow to just enjoy the outside.
Yeah, get out, mow, do whatever. We've had so much rain.
Yeah.
Probably everybody does need to mow.
No kidding. All right, Doug, we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you so much. Coming up, more real-world warnings about virtual threats.
The White House is cracking down on cybersecurity threats after multiple attacks on key infrastructure over the past month. I'm Laura Ingle in New York. I've got the details coming up.
Facebook announced today that former President Donald Trump's accounts will be suspended for 2 years, freezing his presence on the social network until early 2023. At the end of the suspension, the company will, quote, look to experts to assess whether the risk to public safety has receded. The former president called Facebook's decision, quote, an insult. The Justice Department announcing it's going to be combating ransomware threats with the same protocols as it does for terrorism. This after recent cyber attacks brought the largest beef distributor in the world and a key pipeline in the U.S. to a temporary halt. Fox News correspondent Laura Ingle has more now from New York.
The federal government is now treating ransomware attacks as high priority crimes, devoting more money and more resources to fighting back. The Justice Department calling on states to report all ransomware investigations they may be working on so that the federal government can better track online threats.
And you can be sure that state actors, China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, as well as non-state terrorists are watching this very carefully to see how vulnerable we are and mount future attacks against us.
This past week, the largest meat processing facility in the world, JBS, was temporarily forced to shut down 9 beef plants in the U.S. and abroad after a cyber attack, leaving workers concerned over lost wages. Last month, the Colonial Pipeline hack sent Americans panicking to the gas pump and brought one of the nation's most important fuel lines to a standstill.
We know that the ransomware threat is urgent, it's complex, and it's been increasing over the last several years. And it feels new to us over the last couple of weeks, but it has been increasing rapidly around the world over the last several years.
The White House says many of the cyber attacks likely originated in Russia. President Biden says he is working with Moscow to hold the hackers responsible. And it is expected that both President Biden and President Putin will discuss cybersecurity at a summit in Geneva this month. In New York, Laura Ingle, Fox News.
Just ahead, our look at 4-state staycations continues with a visit to Coffeyville, Kansas. Luxury back in time.
What's that?
The Brown Mansion has for more than a century awed both visitors and residents of Coffeyville, Kansas. It was once owned by the family of a wealthy natural gas tycoon, and now the massive 3-story colonial-style home sits on the National Register of Historic Places. KOM photojournalist Liam Mandelbaum gives us a glimpse of a life of luxury frozen in time.
We are in our lovely historic Brown Mansion. A little bit of history preserved.
I tell them the story about the house and the people. I want them to leave with a love for the history, for the things they've seen and how well it's been preserved, and fond memories of the Brown family, because this was all theirs. Many, many generations will be able to come back and see how they lived, what their lifestyle was like, learn a little bit about the people. Mr. Brown was drilling for oil, and he struck the second biggest deposit of natural gas in the United States at that time. That's where the big bucks came from. There was 500 acres here when he started building this house in 1898. They moved in 1906.
We can let you into the rooms. We don't have to have it all roped off. We can actually get a feel for the house. I feel like what makes it special is when you walk in the kitchen door, you feel at home. You feel like that's where your keys are supposed to go. And so when we bring people here, we want them to feel at home and to experience a little bit of what the Brown family felt.
It has taken a lot of renovations to get it to the place where we could open it up for everyone to come and enjoy. And then during the year, we may have fundraisers here. I have several weddings scheduled. We usually have fall activities here. And then we have in December, at nighttime, we have candlelight tours. It is our jewel. There's nothing like it, even in the surrounding towns. This is, it's the jewel of Coffeyville.
Jewel indeed. The Brown Mansion offers guided tours to visitors Tuesday through Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. We have more information on our morning show page at KOAMNewsNow.com. Look at what baby names have become more popular recently when we come back. How many parents do you think named their baby Karen in 2020? Although more and more Karens are popping up in the news and social media, reports say less and less parents are using this name for their babies. Data from the Social Security Administration says the name Karen, now synonymous with an entitled or even racist person, has dropped significantly in popularity over the years, with just 325 babies given that name in 2020. In contrast to 33,000 Karens, born back in 1965. Other names seeing a decline include Katrina and Isis. Meanwhile, Kobe and Kamala both saw the rise following the death of basketball legend Kobe Bryant and the election of Vice President Kamala Harris. Ask any teacher and they will tell you there's some interesting kids' names out there right now. But special, right? 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
The Pittsburgh economy is making real progress recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. You'll hear from City Hall and a Pittsburgh business owner coming up.
Also, we learn about a new pain relief option for patients with bone tumors.
Loosen your tie up.
City officials in Pittsburgh say the local economy is in a much better place than it was a year ago. KOAM's Mike Mahoney spoke to Pittsburgh City Manager Darren Hall, also a Pittsburgh business owner, to learn more about the city's pandemic recovery.
Pittsburgh City Manager Darren Hall says there are many indicators that the city's economy is recovering from the pandemic, but the most tangible one might be Pittsburgh's tax revenue when compared to a year ago.
We just got the latest and they're actually about 13% now for the year, so they're way up, which is obviously a good problem to have if you're in the business of operating a city.
Hall also says the city's numerous job offerings and strong economy are bringing more people to town.
The unemployment, it's about 3.1, 3.2%, which is really full employment for a community our size. And then we continue to take calls from people that are looking to open businesses in town, which is always nice. And then we have what's about to become probably our fourth planned residential development take off.
Terry McThompson is a Pittsburgh business owner whose business, Splash Pool and Patio, is doing well this summer. But unlike many other businesses, the pandemic didn't sink her ship last year.
We were still busy, very busy. A lot of people went out and bought pools so that they could stay at home because that was going to be their entertainment instead of travel.
Terry says many of those new pool owners are now returning customers, but that doesn't mean the pandemic created nothing but smooth sailing for her business.
You know, where I could get things overnight, now it's taking up to a week to get the stuff, you know, just because freight drivers are in demand and stuff like that.
And like many other employers across the country, Terry's having a tough time hiring a full staff. But with all the new customers she's gained during the pandemic, she thinks this year might be a bit better than the one before, and is happy to be among Pittsburgh's many business owners who are still standing after a difficult year.
I mean, I know it's going to work itself out in the long run. So, I mean, we just got to hang in there and get through 21 now.
In Pittsburgh, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
City Manager Darren Hall also says that while more customers are out and about shopping, online purchases remain strong with city businesses. Freeman Health System has started using a treatment to help with bone tumors. The procedure, called OsteoCool, uses an orthopedic balloon to create space in between bones. Then special surgical cement is used to support the surrounding bone. Officials say pain relief comes around 72 hours after this procedure.
Going to bed even was extremely painful, and getting up, and I just can't tell you the relief I had when I had this surgery. It's just been wonderful.
Officials say the procedure itself takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Beautiful day to kick off Galena Days in Galena, Kansas. Of course, the two-day event features live music, food, other types of vendors, bingo, and a carnival. Both organizers and visitors say it's going to be back outside, socializing, having fun.
With COVID last year not having it and then starting it back up this year, it's been a little difficult. We've had some difficulties along the way, some road bumps, but we'll get through it. You know, we've had a lot of support from the community, a lot of help. Couldn't do it without the help that we get. You know, our fire department's volunteers, so, you know, again, we appreciate them. We appreciate their families for allowing them the time to come out here and do this. So it's a community effort.
Tomorrow's events include a parade at 4 p.m. Galena Days goes until 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Another city festival going on, this one Fort Scott Good Old Days. Today's events included a tractor display, parade, street dance, cornhole tournament, also a Chicken Mary's dinner, some face painting as well going on. Later tonight, people enjoyed the movie Grease. Good Old Days continues tomorrow with the last event at 8 p.m. Movie night featuring Twister. Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri today unveiled some new additions to their facility. The additions total around 13,000 square feet. Some of the new features include a new tech and game room, some storm shelters to go along with it. Officials say the additions were made because of long waiting lists of kids looking to join.
The board decided it was time that we maybe do an addition or try to create a bigger space for our kids. So about 2 years ago, we decided it was time to do that, and we started a capital campaign and got the support of the community and got a contractor, Crosslane Construction, did our building, and we were super pleased.
Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri is located at 317 Comingo Avenue in Joplin. A bit later, food prices may increase, and the reason why is not the pandemic.
A severe dry spell in California could spell trouble for you at your local grocery store. I'm Marianne Rafferty in Los Angeles with more on the potential impacts this year's drought may have on the nation's food supply. Coming up.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Friday for us today. Plenty of sunshine, had some clouds during the afternoon, and a few isolated little guys popped up. Most of us stayed dry, but our rain chances are going to increase a little bit as we go into the weekend. It looks fine now. Any isolated showers or thunder showers that we had out there earlier have all dissipated, so we have pretty much clear skies. Not too much is going on. But if we drop south, here's our next storm system. It's a very weak system. It's spinning out across eastern parts of Texas, but it's slowly going to work its way toward us as we go through the next couple days, and it will up our chances for some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, especially as we head into the weekend. Looks pretty good out there right now. This is a live shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. We have pretty much clear skies up top. Temperatures great. Most of us low to mid 70s. We'll drop off about another 7-8 degrees later on tonight. Looks good. 7th and range line as well. Currently in Joplin, 73 south winds at about 3. Humidity is at 66%. As we go into the next few days, we don't have any big storm systems, but our jet streams well to our north into parts of Canada. And you can see this big ridge of high pressure out to the west. As it moves in over us, it really warms us up. We stay into the 80s and push 90. Underneath the ridge, we have this little system that's spinning down through parts of Texas. So we get the warmth, and then we get a little bit of moisture due to this system down through Texas. In fact, it kind of slowly meanders its way toward us over the next couple days. Kind of moves in right on Sunday, giving us some scattered showers and some thunderstorms Monday, and then into Tuesday, and then finally it pushes by. It really kind of falls apart, but we continue to get these weak waves dropping over the ridge. So what that does is keep our rain chances around pretty much all week long for us next week, and then we'll see some changes by next weekend as most of that rain starts to work out. All right, for us tonight, we look okay. We got partly cloudy skies. We'll see partly sunny skies for us tomorrow. In the afternoon, we are going to get some hit and miss isolated storms, a little bit more numerous than what we had today. So don't be surprised if you get stuck under a quick thunderstorm. 76 by noon, high temp of 83. Southwest winds are going to be light at about 5 to 10. Any storms that would pop up will dissipate tomorrow evening, and then we look fine tomorrow night. As we go into Sunday morning, we start near 70 degrees. And then more thunderstorms pop up Sunday afternoon. These are going to be a little bit more numerous on Sunday afternoon compared to what we'll see tomorrow afternoon. And a few of these storms could be strong. Can't rule out an isolated severe thunderstorm across the region, but all in all, not a huge deal. Very summer-like pattern. And within these storms, we could get 1/10 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch of rain. But again, it's going to be very scattered. All right, 83 tomorrow. 81 on Sunday, a little bit cooler just due to more clouds and showers. And then mid-80s to upper 80s late next week, and chances for thunderstorms each and every day.
As you were saying yesterday, though, severe weather season is pretty much done. I mean, we still get severe weather in the summer. We just can't get the dynamics to get big tornado outbreaks. It's good.
Yep.
It's good. All right, Doug, thanks so much. Coming up in sports, Webb City head track coach Justin Miller talking about his team claiming their first ever state championship. Plus, the Joplin Outlaws hitting the field for the first time since 2019. Jacob Leonard joins us with that and more next.
She's a
Well, one of the best to ever do it in the MIAA is calling it a career. Pitt State's Russ Jewett announces this evening he is retiring as the school's track and field and cross country head coach. Now, when I say best to ever do it, it's not a joke. These aren't typos. Jewett won 2 national track and field titles at PSU, 39 MIAA track and field championships, as well as 11 MIAA cross-country titles. Now, between the two sports, men's and women's, he was named MIAA Coach of the Year 46 times since joining the school in 1986. Well, tonight is opening night for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws welcome in the Des Moines Peak Prospects this evening for their first Mink League game of the summer. Now this one is Joplin's first game since 2019 after the pandemic shut down last year's schedule. In the third, grounder to second brings around Anthony Torellis. Peak Prospects lead it 2-0. Bottom half, Outlaws get one back. Logan Klein up the first base line. RBI ground out scores Brandon Ulmer. The next inning, Jack Metton goes back up the middle. Lawson Faria scores. Let's get one more. Outlaws take the lead on that right now. Joplin leads 3-2 in the top of the 8th. Missouri Southern pitcher Zach Parrish earns his second National Pitcher of the Year award. Parrish was named the Division II Pitcher of the Year today by the Division II Conference Commissioners Association. Now, the lefty became Division II's all-time strikeouts leader this season, ending his career with 488. Check this out. Parrish has previously been named National Pitcher of the Year by the NCBWA, the Regional Pitcher of the Year, the MIAA Pitcher of the Year, and a first-team All-American. In the major leagues, both the Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals are on the field tonight. The Royals kick off a series at home against the Twins, aiming to pick up their 5th win in a row. Kansas City just 2 games back of a wild card spot coming into the day. Look at this. The Royals scored 9 in the first inning tonight. They're up 13-2 in the bottom of the 6th. The Cardinals open up a series against the Reds this evening. That one's in the top of the 8th with St. Louis trailing 4-1. The Cards have only managed 3 hits on the night. The Webb City Boys track and field program won their first ever state championship last week. Cards had 6 individuals and 2 relay teams finish in the top 5, including Makai Girard, who won the long jump and finished 2nd in the triple jump. The head coach Dustin Miller joined us in studio earlier this evening to talk about finally getting over the hump and claiming the Class 4 title.
I thought we had a chance to win a state championship last year, and worst case scenario, end up 3rd or 4th. And then for that to get ripped away from us after being so close 4 other times, it was like, golly, when are we ever going to get a chance? And these guys just stayed cool, calm, collected, always asking me, hey, how's the team doing? That's the only question they ever asked during the meets. Made it hard to count points sometimes, but you know, that was just them. They wanted to do what they could do for the team, and now they get rewarded with their names on the back of the bleachers forever.
You can check out our full interview with Coach Miller on the Toyota Sunday Night Sports feed, Sunday night at 10 on KOAM. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Fisher-Price says it's recalling a model of its baby soothers after the deaths of 4 infants who were placed on their backs, unrestrained in the devices, and later found on their stomachs. The company is recalling its 4-in-1 Rock and Glide soothers, which are designed to mimic the motion of a baby being rocked in someone's arms. The 4 fatalities happened between April 2019 and February 2020, including a 4-month-old from Missouri. Well, the Golden State is seeing red as extreme heat and low rainfall is causing drought conditions to worsen. Fox News correspondent Marianne Rafferty has more on how the weather in California could impact the country's agriculture and the effects it could have on your next trip to the grocery store.
Potential bad news for consumers. The nation's food supply could be under attack. And the culprit? A record drought now going on in California.
This year is the worst drought, the worst year since 1977.
Environmental experts say so far this year's weather in the Golden State is hotter and drier than usual, causing water levels across California's more than 1,500 reservoirs to be 50% lower than they were this time last June. And as these lakes dry up, government agencies have less water to divide between the state's roughly 25 million acres of farmland.
It's an economic disaster. We don't plant crops. We don't have jobs. We don't produce food.
But you don't have to live in California to be affected by this drought. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, California is the nation's leading agricultural producer, supplying a bulk of the country's nuts, berries, vegetables, and dairy products.
You'll see no crops there, you'll see no people working there, and there'll be no food coming from this field this year.
Fewer crops planted means smaller harvests, which could result in less food hitting the shelves at your local grocery store. But this drought doesn't just affect food. The consequences trickle down to also affect people's jobs.
If there is no water, there is no work. And for us farm workers, how are we going to support the family?
And this drought comes as California enters another dangerous wildfire season. In Los Angeles, Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
When we come back and preview a new series on Apple TV, plus inspired by Stephen King. A new series from the mind of iconic author Stephen King is now available to stream. Oscar winner Julianne Moore and producer J.J. Abrams talk about working on King's latest adaptation. Fox's Ash Dvorkin has this story.
That's how strong his imagination is.
The new Apple TV Plus series, Lisey's Story, is the latest on-screen adaptation of a Stephen King classic. It's based on his 2006 best-selling novel of the same name, starring Oscar winner Julianne Moore.
Where'd you go?
She plays the grieving widow of a famous novelist, forced to uncover awful truths about her dead husband and confront the fantasy world he created.
It is an exploration of a long-term relationship, of a marriage, and of that investment that you have in somebody else, and of the world you share. And because it's Stephen King, the world that they share, the intimate world, is also a place where they can go. It's a place that's like the supernatural place.
This is his most favorite book of his, and it examines sort of a relationship that has passed and kind of questions what was it really at its core, how deeply do you actually know someone. It also talks about obsession and fandom and what it is to, be in the public eye the way, he has been.
The show marks the third time producer J.J. Abrams has collaborated with the iconic author, but it's the first novel King adapted himself, personally writing all 8 episodes.
He's so prolific, he just started writing them and just sending them in. And all of a sudden we had 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was sort of just like a gift every time.
Was it real? Or was it my imagination?
Lisey's Story is available to stream starting today. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of otters playing in some ice at the Oregon Zoo. I mean, come on. You see otters, and no matter what they do, it's cute, right? Hey, have a great, safe weekend. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.